Hello and welcome to the Amazing Nerdiverse. I'm Jeff Grant.
I'm Steven Tugert.
This is a podcast where we talk about all things good and geeky that make up the Amazing Nerdiverse. Haha, you thought I was going to say something different. No, that's what it's about. That's really what it's about.
You got them. The old switcheroo.
Yeah, we talk about movies and comic books and shit.
They're stupid bullshit. Nobody.
We literally took like a 60-second break after recording that last one.
Is this gonna be like a week apart?
Maybe not a whole week.
Okay.
But I'll do the first one when I'm finished with that one. I'll put it up and then I'll jump on the second one and try to get that up.
Break this second episode into 4 parts.
Break it down. We're gonna go back into that. All right. So this week, what we're breaking down.
Break it down.
We're gonna be breaking down some more top things of 2017 and now look forward to 2018.
Nah.
We're going to be doing our top TV shows of 2017, the top news stories of 2017, and our most anticipated movies of 2018. Let's start with our favorite TV shows. You wrote a list, so let's just do your list. I don't know. What did you write?
I mean, this is a very loose...
10, 5?
I don't know. I don't want to put these in order. I'm just going to...
Just go for it.
Baskets.
Okay, I have not seen Baskets yet. I know you're a huge Zach Galifianakis fan, as am I.
It's a really... As close as Carla can get to crying at like a movie or a show, this might be it.
Really?
She didn't cry, but she got really sad.
Okay.
It is very sad.
Is it?
Yeah.
What is the premise? He's like a rodeo clown or something?
He's a clown.
Yeah.
He just happens to work at the rodeo. That's where he got a job as a clown.
Okay, that's the only place he can get a job as a clown. All right.
It's about his family.
Yeah.
The character's family, like him wanting to be a clown, but also having to... Things going on with his family. He has to kind of step in and do certain things.
Yeah.
He also plays... Zach also plays his own twin brother.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And he does it remember the Seth?
Yeah, Seth Galifianakis.
He's kind of doing that, but he's still got the beard.
Awesome.
It's not just the mustache.
Okay.
But,
yeah, because that'd be a lot for a regular like TV show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what else you got as far as TV goes?
Brooklyn NineNine.
Yes, I love that show.
I fell behind on it for a while, and then we recently just binged a whole bunch of it on the Hulu.
Yeah, caught all the way back up.
It's just it's a really good, enjoyable show.
Yeah, that show has never dipped for me or anything. No. Like it's just stayed consistent. I've always loved it.
I did not expect to like it.
Yeah.
It's like just before I watched it, it
really?
Was like it seemed like from like I guess the trailers I had seen before. I was like, I'm gonna want this to be good, but it might not be because like I've been tricked before. It just kind of feels like that.
Yeah.
But just all of the characters are really funny. It's hard for me to pick a favorite just because everyone has their own little moments.
Yeah.
Like with Parks and Rec, I love the whole show, but like the April character, I was like, all right.
You don't like April?
No, I'm like at certain points she has lines and like little deliveries of stuff. I'm like, all right, we get it. You hate everything. I get it. Yeah. All right. But the way that
interesting that you don't like April because that's you.
No,
you hate everything.
Not everything.
You hate every fucking thing.
The way that
and everybody, especially.
What's her name? Chelsea Peretti.
Yeah.
The way that she plays her character, it's kind of the.
I think she's my favorite character on that show.
She's like not the same character, but that type of.
Yeah.
Like that's the way. That's the better way of playing that character.
I think. More interesting way of doing it.
Yeah.
She's. I mean, I will say she's my favorite. She makes me fucking laugh in that show. And you know what? I will say, like, I was saying, there's no really like dips or anything in the show overall quality, and there's not. But I have missed her this season. Like she's not been in as much.
She was pregnant.
Her character, yeah, she was kind of written out of the show.
And so
was
what's her name? San Diego.
Yeah,
I thought it was like clever the way that they put her in prison in the quote unquote pregnant suit.
Oh,
she was actually
really?
pregnant. Yeah,
she was. Oh,
I was like, that's cute.
All right.
Well, we won't hide it. We'll just put it right out there in Front Street.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that. I guess whenever a character's pregnant in a show, it's usually should just probably be because they're pregnant in real life.
Yeah.
Like, was it Big Bang Theory? Like, they
I
just
never
had
watched, really.
they like, oh, well, I thought you did watch that show. But they just, like, had a baby, like, last season.
I've seen a couple episodes, but not...
And then the actress got pregnant. And so, like, well, now that she's going to have another baby right back to back. So they kind of had to write that into the show again. All right, what other shows you got?
The Mindy Project. Watched all of that.
I used to watch it. I fell off. It just didn't grab me.
It's really good. It's a really good show. Maybe her character didn't grow enough for me.
That's probably one of the things. Like, it's just like, it's the same old bullshit.
Kinda. It was still really funny though.
Yeah,
but I could have used a little bit more character growth.
I think it was at a time where I kind of fell off and, like, got behind and couldn't watch it for one reason or another, and I just never went back to catch up with it. But as I do with pretty much any show I start, I have to finish it, so I'll maybe go back and finish it one day.
Saturday Night Live.
Mm-hmm.
You don't watch that anymore, do you?
No, I've never really watched it consistently.
I like it.
Yeah,
it's pretty solid for me.
I mean, I've been hearing good things about it lately. That it's getting good again.
It's been good for a little while. That's the thing with that show. When people like dip in and out of it, and they're like, "Oh, it's not good as it used to be."
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. It's not terrible. There's nothing wrong with it. There's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Well, I mean, everyone has their era of Saturday Night Live, and, like, that's what they hold it up as. I mean, my era was like the early to late 90s and stuff with, like, the Adam Sandler and the Chris Farley and David Spade and, like, those years and everything. So, like, that, I mean, everyone has their...
Keenan's on it.
Yeah, he's been on it.
Yeah, but he's just really good.
Yeah.
He's delightful whenever he shows up.
What else you
got? Stranger Things season 2.
I still have not finished Stranger Things season 2. I don't know what it is
about really the
show. I like the show, and I just cannot work up the enthusiasm to dive back into. I don't know what it is. Like, the first season, I didn't get on board with the first season right away. Whenever, like, I was hearing about it, everyone was like, "This show is fucking amazing," and all this stuff. And then when I watched it, I was like, "Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
I liked it. I get it. It's
I waited
80s
till
nostalgia and all this
we
stuff."
waited till no one was talking about it, and then we got right up to, like, we had like a week or two until season 2 came out.
Oh, you hadn't watched the first season until then?
Right.
Oh,
so
really?
we were able to, like, jump from one to the next with only...
When season 2 came out, I started it from the beginning, because I always do that with shows. I'm like, I'm going to watch it from the beginning and refresh myself. So I started from the beginning, really liked it a lot and stuff. I think it didn't quite get as big as I wanted it to at the end of the season, maybe, which is not a problem. Like, it was interesting and stuff.
You haven't made it through season 2.
I got about 3 or 4 episodes in, and then I don't know. Just all the life
It'll
got
get
sucked
as big
out of
as
me.
you wanted it to.
It will?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I definitely want to see it. Like, it's one of the, like I said, whenever I don't finish a show, I kind of feel like it haunts me. It's always in the back of my head. It's like, finish Stranger Things. And, like, that's at the top of my list of shows that I need to finish.
That's interesting that you'll finish Iron Fist, but you won't.
Well, Iron Fist took me like 9 months to finish Iron Fist. Like, Iron Fist, I think I finished Iron Fist because I actively hated it so much. Stranger Things I don't hate. I actually really like it, but there's something about it that I'm not quite connecting to it the way that everyone else seems to. I don't know what that is.
Carl and I have said, we were watching it, we were like, you know, I think if we had a kid, it would be Dustin.
Yeah.
We were like, that'd be him.
Yeah.
Because, like, little things were like, in season 1, they're like in the, not interrogation, when they're at the police station and they're talking, and then he kind of speaks up something about, like, to be accurate about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you care? And he's just like, he asked.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, where it's like, that'd be him. And, like, in season 2, I think, is it season 1 or season 2? It might be season 1, where he's like, where's all your compasses? He's like, it's not pointing magnetic north. He's like, he's getting, like, all into it. Like, yeah, that's it.
I liked it. I liked the characters and stuff. I think maybe something like it made me more interested. And whereas, like, this is, like, it feels, it's not Stephen King, but it kind of has a very, like, Stephen King vibe to it. But I don't know. it was a Stephen King thing, and I got more into it and stuff. It was, I mean, if you heard last week's episode, it made my top 10 or whatever. And Stranger Things is not really going to make my top list of TV shows, but it's really because I didn't finish it. And I'll finish it. I'll maybe start it tonight. I don't know. I keep putting it off and everything. I'll just start season 2 over again because I don't know. There was things in it I liked. Like when it revealed that 11 was living with Hopper. Is that Hop?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And she was living with him. I was like, oh, that's so awesome and everything. And I liked that stuff. And then spoiler alert. I don't know if it's been out for a couple months. And then I'm probably the only one that hasn't finished it.
Yeah.
And but then you know what it was? I know the exact scene where I just lost all enthusiasm for it. It was just that, like, Will is just still doing Will was the one that was missing in the first season, right? Was it Will Byers or something like that? He was missing in the first season, and then he's back, but he's not back really. Like, he's still having those, like, flashes to it, and it's like, I don't know. It was just, to me, he was just like, oh, it's just like, I'm going to run you a warm bath and everything. And there's that scene where he's just standing there and looking in the water and stuff when she runs in the bath. And then I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about this kid taking a bath. Like, I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on what it is about the show that I'm not connecting to like everyone else is.
What about the Ghostbusters stuff?
Well, to you, the whole reason you watch the show is because they dressed as Ghostbusters once. Don't deny
the
it.
only part.
I think it's the only reason you gave it a chance. You are as simple as like you slap a label on something and that matters to you.
There was 4 of them, and they wore Ghostbusters costumes.
Okay.
Of course I'm going to watch it.
All right. What else you got on your TV?
The last 2 weren't really shows, but they were on Netflix, and I thought they were really good. One was the Seinfeld special.
Yeah, I watched that.
They just put out. I thought it was really good.
I liked it.
I really
it was interesting.
Yeah. I just liked his bit about the Life cereal.
What was it?
I don't remember it exactly, but like how cocky it is that this is life. And then I'm sure you probably heard of this, the Jim and Andy.
Yeah, I haven't watched that. I was interested about it.
You know what? Don't watch this later instead of Stranger Things. Get to that later.
Yeah. But
watch the Jim and Andy.
Yeah, I've been wanting to check it out.
Like, Homeboy was in it.
Yeah.
He was...
I think Jim and Andy probably would have qualified more for your top 10 TV or top 10 movies. Because it's a documentary. Yeah. It's a feature-length movie, right?
Yeah, I didn't really think about putting it in there for that.
Yeah.
Because I had just seen it. Yeah, I don't know what I would take out, but...
Yeah.
It was really good. There was a little part that got me a little teary-eyed and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, growing up, I was a huge Jim Carrey fan. Like, he was, like, my dude. Like,
and it's the thing, like, when he's talking about all this stuff, he doesn't, like, shit on his other movies or anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like that where he's like, oh, I'm a serious dude. Oh, those other ththings are stupid.
Yeah.
Like, he takes those things seriously.
I wanted to see it because just as someone who grew up loving Jim Carrey, I think it'd be a real eye-opening thing. Maybe not paint him in the most positive light.
It doesn't...
I mean, in the grand scheme of the things that we talk about in today's day and age of like people in Hollywood being horrible people.
Oh no, he wasn't a horrible person. He was just weird. That's it.
Yeah, I think it might be more of like people didn't like him as much, having to deal with that kind of a performer and stuff in that situation.
At the most, he was just really annoying to people. That was it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Which in the grand scheme of things is not quite as horrible as some of the other things you might hear about celebrities.
No, he's just really, really, like, if I was on the set, I'd just be like, God damn it. This is really annoying. I just want to...
Yeah. Well, like, he's getting kind of really strange these days anyway. With, like, that stuff that you hear. He seems kind of
peaceful. Like, yeah, he's talking, like, really weird. But, like, I'm a little bit happy for him. There's certain moments where it's like, God, I hope he's not sad right now.
Well,
but then there's other moments where like sad. He's just kind of like dealing. It seems like he's dealing with things on his own terms and just being okay. I think.
Yeah.
there's one little story in it that made me tear up. It's not like a spoiler, really. Do you remember the check that he wrote himself?
Mm-hmm.
You remember hearing about that?
I remember that story, yeah.
When his dad passed away, he put it like in his little jacket pocket.
Yeah.
I was like, that's nice.
That's it?
Yeah, it kind of like it touched me. It was like, this is something, I just want you to know I'm okay type of.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, he put it in his dad's
jacket.
I thought you said he put it in his own. I was like,
I was like, why don't you care about that? No, like, yeah, when he put it in his dad's jacket pocket.
When they buried him and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that
yeah.
Right, I get that now. Yeah, that's a much more touching story.
Yeah.
I was like, cool story, bro. He's like, oh, I'm going to move it from here. I'm going to put it in my jacket pocket. And then like, all right, oh, yeah. It's like, man, that really like, that's like where your heart is.
Yeah.
All right, was that all your TV?
That I can think of right now.
Okay. All right, here's my top. I was like, I'll do a top 5. Then I ended up with like, but this show is really good. So I did 10. So I think I really had like 8 or 9 shows that I loved that I thought were really good. And then I have my 10 would be more like an honorable mention, but it's a show I'm enjoying right now. The Orville.
Okay.
I think the season ended, but I just really dug this show. I really enjoyed it. Like it feels like a classic Star Trek show in many ways, but it also has a little bit of humor in it. It's not quite as funny as like I expected, but it also, it doesn't take it. It takes itself just the right amount of serious. Like it's not just, it's all for the gag or the goofs and stuff. There's some legitimate like storylines and stuff and some interesting things that they do in it. But I like it. I like the characters and stuff like that, and I'm enjoying it. And I'm glad they're going to do another season. I'm glad that Ralph Garman's going to get to come back as the bartender. Ralph Garman from Hollywood Babylon, who he's going to be doing a new podcast soon that he was talking about. And I'm really excited for that. I'm a fan of him. But yeah, Orville, like, I like it. Star Trek Discovery, as much as I talked about and being excited for it, I didn't go back and finish it past 4 episodes. Like, it's another show that I want to go back and finish and everything, but it was the week-to-week thing for some reason. And it's not popping up on my queue like, Hulu shows do, where I'm like, all right, what's new? And it just pops up. I just keep forgetting about it, which is a bummer, but I am going to finish it because I did like it. But, yeah. What's up?
Impractical Jokers.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've been able to watch any of it.
I have. Everything except for the finale, which for some reason they didn't put on the G.I. Jokers.
Yeah.
They didn't put it on Google. I bought the season on Google Play, and they didn't put it on there right away, but I just checked the other night and it's on there now, so I can watch that now.
It's really good.
I had to buy it.
I love that show.
I don't have cable anymore.
It just always makes me laugh.
Yeah.
It's hard. It just always puts me in a good mood. I like the little moments in between, like when they're not doing the challenges, but like the other night I was watching it and like there's a bit where Joe just kept eating cannolis like in the back, and Sal was like, "You cannot eat that whole thing."
Joe takes that as a personal challenge.
I think he ate like 5 cannolis or something. More than that. I was like, dude.
I love those guys.
Yeah.
My number 9 show is most of these shows are like season 1. Like, it's like the first, like a new show, season 1 or something like that. Or it's a show that hasn't been around for a while, or it's a particularly like key season of the show or whatever. Or it just stuck out for some reason. But my number 9 is season 9 of Curb Your Enthusiasm. It came back and I just finished watching it. I was really happy to see the show come back because I love the show. He has, spoiler alert, I don't know if you've seen any of it yet.
No.
Spoiler alert, he has not changed.
Good.
Yeah, which is great. Like, this is a character that you do not want to see grow and evolve because...
I think the one piece I saw from the trailer was like when he's talking to his therapist and he's like, just anytime you feel like...
Bryan Cranston.
You just tell me, nah, that's enough.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston was his therapist.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah. Had a lot of great guest stars this season.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of fun people popping up. Yeah, but it's good to see it back. I'm glad he's doing it again because it's just such a fun show. All your favorite characters in his world are back.
Leon?
Okay. He's still living in his guest house.
It's a good pairing, those two.
Yeah. It was when it first happens, like, really? But then you see it like, really?
It's like the Rock and Sock connection.
Yeah.
You don't expect it to
work, but it fucking does.
Boy, oh boy, does it.
Larry David and JB Smoove, like the perfect unlikely. And I love JB Smoove as it is. So.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. Okay, so my number 8, The Gifted, the X-Men show. It is really good. It's really interesting, and like I was bummed when like the mid-season finale ended, but it's already back. Like I think it aired Monday, like New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. They dropped a new episode. Like most shows, like they're off until like midway through or the end of January when they take these winter breaks. But Gifted got right back on that horse, and I'm glad because I'm really into it. Like it's not as strong as some of the other superhero shows that I'm really into. It's one of those shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that kind of distances themselves from the things you really want to see in a superhero related show. Like you're not seeing the X-Men or the Brotherhood, but it's in a world where something happened to those guys, and you're seeing what's left of that world. And I think it's a show that's like on the path to I think it's set in the like Days of Future Past timeline. So eventually things will get that bad to where it'll be there. But I think we will eventually see some of those characters from the X-Men universe as a whole, maybe depending on what happens with the X-Men universe going forward. But I'm really digging it. My number 7, which you just might not have thought of. I know you've seen this. The Defenders.
Yeah.
The Defenders was my number 7. It wasn't probably as big or as exciting as I was building it up to over 3 years. But you're bound to build anything up when you're really excited about it. But I think they could have went a little bigger with it and stuff. And I would have liked to have seen the final fight scene not be in a dank ass like cave where you really can't see anything. It was too dark. I wish it was like couldn't see anything.
I could have gone with a little bit more, kind of a just put them in the costumes type. You know what I mean, for like the final battle type thing. Well,
like, really, it's only Iron Fist.
Well, I would have given Luke Cage the yellow shirt at the end and have him wear. But that's like it's one of those things for me. I was like, why not?
I mean, it bugged me for Iron Fist.
Yeah, just put him in the thing. Just put him in. Just do it.
A lot of things bug me about Iron Fist, though. But yeah, as a whole, like it was great seeing those kids. He was better, and that was one thing that was definitely a win for them that they made Danny Rand a little bit better.
Well, the way those two play it makes sense when they're together now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I liked seeing those two characters together, even though I'm not super like big fan of this version of Iron Fist, but he's getting closer. He's getting a little better, and hopefully he'll continue to improve when he comes back for a season 2. But it's just, I'm always excited to see more Daredevil, because that character of all of them, he is the one that I love the most. But I love Luke and Jessica Jones as well, and it was cool seeing them in there, and some of their supporting cast interacting and stuff. Number 6, The Runaways. I'm really liking The Runaways so far. I think it's a really good show. Like, surprisingly, I think it's a show that a lot of people have slept on, but people who are giving it a shot are really getting into it. It's different from the comic book in a lot of ways, mostly in regards to the parents. I think the parents there's a lot of more differences between the parents in the show than there are in the comic book, but the kids are dead on. The characters are exactly what they should be, with the exception of there's one kid, Chase, that in the comics he's more of like a dumb jock, and in the show he's a jock and everything, and he looks like he'd be a dumb jock, but he's actually a little smarter than people give him credit for, I think. But and we're learning a little bit about that. The show is still going. I think there's one more episode left of the season, if they're doing 10. I think they're doing 10. One thing that bugs me though, I mean, this might maybe a slight spoiler. In the comic books, they run away like right away. In this show, they're 9 episodes in, and they haven't quite run away yet. But I think it's getting to that point at the end of the season, and they're taking the slow burn with it and stuff.
Smallville approach.
Yeah. It's where it took 10 years for you to find out that he was in Smallville. No, but the Runaways, that's my only one gripe. I would have liked to have seen them run, but they'll get to that, and it'll be fine. But it's different, but I like both. I like the comic a lot. I like the show a lot, so I'm enjoying it. Are
you caught up on The Walking Dead at all?
No.
No? Where'd you fall off?
I only saw the first 2 episodes of this season.
Oh.
I mean, not only have I don't have cable anymore, so that's why I can't watch it. But I'm not as interested.
No?
I don't know what it is.
You're not invested in the characters anymore?
No. I mean, I know what happens in the last episode of the season. I got something spoiled for me. And I don't know what it is, but I still don't care to... It's not like the kind of thing where I'm like, oh, I have to see that. And like normally that would be the case. And I don't know. It's just not grabbing me like it used to. I think this season is a story arc that I've been looking forward to because it's an arc from the comics, the All Out War stuff, and the Negan stuff, and it just hasn't had the impact that the comics did, and it's losing that for me. The more seasons it's going in, it's not. The more diversions they take from the comics and the different things they do, the less like I see them as each other, like for a while there, I could look at the show and go, yeah, this is a great example of this comic book brought to real life. And now the further they go, and it just doesn't have the same impact that the comics do, have the same like gravitas in certain scenes, and like the certain moments don't have the I wouldn't say iconic because the comics are still so fresh. A lot of and especially some of the storylines we're getting to now, or stuff that's happened in the comics within the past like 5 years or so. But like, it just doesn't have that same punch that the comic does for a lot of the storylines. Like even like in the comic books, I love the stuff at the prison so much. Yeah. And the stuff at the prison in the show didn't quite live up to that. And if that is like my favorite stuff from the comic books, and some of the stuff with Negan is some of my favorite stuff in the comic books, and the show not quite getting there. Not to say anything goes. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan's performance, and I already know there's things that happen in the comic books that I really love that are not going to happen now.
I hate Negan.
I know you do.
I really do. I really hate Eugene.
I don't know what he's up to these days.
Squirrely little. God, I just want to.
All right. My number 5 show is The Punisher. Have you seen any of it yet?
No, not yet. I might get around to it, though.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best Marvel Netflix shows. It's up there. I mean, I think Daredevil's still my favorite, and I really like Jessica Jones too. But Punisher's up there with those. It's really strong. It was definitely like the ending of the season. It ended strong too. Like it kept me engaged the whole time. There was some really interesting stuff, and I'm liking the growth of this character from the appearance that we got in season 2 of Daredevil. And John Bernthal is fantastic. And
it's not for any reason other than I'm
Punisher's not really one of your favorite characters.
No, but I'll also have to I gotta wait till I'm in the right mood for it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'll watch it right now.
Like, I haven't read a whole lot of solo Punisher comic stuff. I always like Punisher when he's supporting character to another superhero and stuff, but the show really works. It doesn't need that. This show.
Anyone else pop up, or is it just kind of?
It doesn't need it.
Doesn't need it.
Don't think it would fit. I would have liked to have seen Moon Knight like set up, but I'll talk about this one quickly because you don't like good things. Game of Thrones season 7 was really interesting this year. It's starting to get. It's past the point of the books because George R. R. Martin says this is a 7-book series. Only 5 have been released, and he's been promising that the 6th book's coming out for like 5 years now. So the show's well past where the books have left off.
Like a hand with a middle finger. Just
my favorite thing is there's these sketches that they've done on Conan where it's just like what George R. R. Martin's doing. They put cameras in his house to see what he's doing when he should be working on the book. And it's just him like jumping on a trampoline and playing with like bongos and stuff like that. It's really funny. It's not really George R. R. Martin. It's this comedian Nick Mundy playing him.
It would be funny though if they got the real guy to.
Yeah, but I kind of like the Nick Mundy caricature version of it more because it's just he does a great job of making him such a goofy character.
Maybe I'll write a book one day.
You probably won't.
No, I won't. I'll get a paragraph and say this sucks, and I'll delete it. Yeah. Kind of like Terry. Terry wrote a book on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, he did. I like that episode.
Terry loves sci-fi.
All right. So Game of Thrones season 7. People are complaining about it because they're saying there's a lot of fan service in this season. And I think I said it was this on our last episode when I was talking about fan service. I don't give a fuck. Stuff. I'm a fan.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
service me. Like I just the show is changing now because it's for so long it's been a show about, oh, I like this character, oh, he's dead. Oh, I like this character, oh, he's dead now. And they can't continue to do that through the rest of the series because then there's no ending. And it's just, oh, everyone's dead and that's it. Like you have to get to the finish line, and they're approaching the finish line. Season 7 was their penultimate season. There's only like 6 or 7 episodes left.
So did they know what
season
was kind of in the books that what's his face was gonna write?
I think
Ish.
I think it's always been kind of like there's certain things that have to happen.
I'll tell you where the story's going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like there's things that have been built up the entire series. Like there's the wall. There are the White Walkers beyond the wall that are coming towards the wall, and it's taken them 7 years, but they're here now, kind of thing. And so that's been a looming threat. Also, there's just gonna be an all-out war between all of Westeros has been building to this whole year. And it's like interesting seeing this show is like, oh, well, what's going to happen first? Are we going to see everyone in Westeros unite to take on the White Walkers? Or are we going to see them all fight this out real quick and then their weakened armies have to go up against the White Walkers? Or is it all just gonna boil over at once and everyone's gonna be fighting everyone? It's probably what's gonna happen. And but yeah, this show, yeah, they say fan service, but it's exciting to me. Like, it's taken 7 years, but we're finally seeing certain characters come together that have never interacted before, and it's really cool for me to see that. All right, my number 3 is season 3 of Rick and Morty. Okay. Rick and Morty is one of my favorite shows on TV of all time. I love this show so much, and every time I get a new episode of this show, I'm just fucking elated. Do
you like it more than South Park?
I mean, I think so.
Because in the day, you used to, that was like your jam.
Well, was it?
Yeah.
I mean, I've always liked it, but
I thought it was your
my jam.
I thought it was your jam.
I liked it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, South Park has been going on for so long, and like, it's still funny. It's still funny. I'm still watching it and stuff. But like, Rick and Morty is just like unlike anything. It's like one of the smartest shows. Like the things they do in the show is just unbelievable. Like the crazy sci-fi concepts and stuff that they do, and you see why it takes them like 2 years to write a season of the show or whatever. But also, it's just really fucking funny. So funny. Yeah, and season 3 was great. It was fantastic. There's a lot of cool stuff in there.
Number
2, Legion. Legion was a surprise because I didn't know much about the character or anything like that. I know David Haller is Charles Xavier's son, and they didn't really delve too much into that in the show. They hinted about his father, that he's got a father, obviously, and they haven't gone too much into that. But this show is really interesting. It's like, it kind of, I feel like it kind of elevates past just the typical comic book fare and stuff, and it's just a really interesting, like, there's some people that even if they're not into like comic book stuff or whatever, that I think would, if they gave this show a shot, that they would really get into it and everything. It's a very trippy and like out there, and like it's very heady kind of show, and there's some really cool concepts at play here, and like the mutant stuff is just kind of a cool little, like, icing on the cake kind of thing.
Does Uncle Magneto ever show up?
Yeah, he pops in from time to time.
Does he call him Uncle Magneto?
He's like, Uncle Magneto. He bursts in like Kramer. Fucking helmet on.
Oh, I want to do a real quick, I just remembered, the Psych movie came out.
Okay.
I really liked it, because I really like that show. And I'll put Psych on there, even though it's been off the air for a little while.
And it's a movie. Well,
it was a show first.
It's a TV movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. I never watched Psych.
It's good. It's real good. The two of them have like a really good chemistry and a back and forth. It's really funny.
And my final one. See, this one is not one show in particular, but it is my favorite thing that's happened on TV this year. It's not one show, but 4 shows. It is the Crisis on Earth X. I fucking love this because, like, I always love the crossovers in the show, but this I think is the best crossover they've ever done.
I haven't finished it yet.
Really?
I fully intend to. I just want to watch it like all together.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think they just did such a phenomenal job of, bringing these 4 shows together this season. Like, they didn't do as much last year. Because last year, Supergirl wasn't a part of it, the crossover. It was just at the tail end of her episode, Barry and Cisco showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And even that scene was in the Flash episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then Arrow was kind of doing its own thing for that episode because it was at their 100th episode.
Mm-hmm.
But this all felt like it didn't feel. None of the episodes felt like, oh, this is Supergirl, so it's Supergirl. Like, this is Flash. Like, it was just 4 hours of just this one kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, this is how you do the crossovers. And the shows up to that point didn't quite matter as much. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, that's how you get.
Yeah, like you didn't. Yeah, like you could if you watch just the Flash,
yeah,
you could watch this crossover and still got it and enjoyed it. And
that's what I like about it.
Yeah, there's not much you have to know about what's going on with the other shows, but if you do watch all the other shows, like you'll probably enjoy it even more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I loved it. Like it makes me excited for the future of all these shows. I can't wait till next year. Maybe they'll have a 5-show crossover.
With who?
With Black Lightning. Because Black Lightning starting.
I thought he wasn't connected though.
Well, Supergirl wasn't connected.
That's true. You think they'll?
I think he'll be another Earth.
Okay.
And eventually they'll bring him on there.
That'd be good.
Yeah. And there's perhaps maybe some even more Earths that might come into play.
I wonder why they didn't throw Superman in there.
It's not.
Just not.
There's not a Superman show.
No, I mean like into the crossover.
No, I know. But, like, there's not a Superman show, and, like, he's not the star. I mean, they didn't throw Martian Manhunter in there either, and he's in that show.
See, that would
all the
be
time.
a good one to.
I mean, as the DC fan, I want to see Superman and Martian Manhunter meet. Well, Martian Manhunter's met a lot of them before. He was part of a crossover they did once.
But I want to see it.
But I want to see Martian Manhunter and Superman meet
Barry Allen
and Green Arrow and all that stuff. That'd be amazing.
That'd be cool.
All right.
You can bring back, what's his face? Wildcat. What happened to that dude?
Yeah, he must have just died.
I guess.
It was just so unceremonious. Like, just like, oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
No one really liked him. All right, so that was all my top TV shows. The worst TV show of the year, fucking Inhumans. I've talked about it enough. That show disappointed on every level. It started off bad, didn't improve.
Say 3 positive things about it.
It ended,
without being ironic or shitty.
It was only 8 episodes. It's
No.
over now, and we'll never have to worry about it again.
None of that kind of stuff.
And there's no chance it's getting a season 2.
I want 3 honest, positive
things.
I
I think for the most part the casting was good. I think, yeah, that's one. Like they had great actors in there. Like I think Anson Mount would have been a great Black Bolt given a better show. I think the guy from Game of Thrones, I cannot pronounce his name. It's really weird. Who played Ramsay Bolton would have been a great Maximus in a better show. And yeah, and then Lockjaw. I just like that character, the dog, and can't really complain. It was just a big dog. I mean, the CGI wasn't great, but he's a big old puppy dog, giant-sized dog that can teleport. Can't argue with that. And then third, I think some of the costumes could have looked okay. I don't know. Like it's like I might only be able to do 2, man.
Okay.
Like the writing is so bad, the direction is so bad, the choices to go IMAX are just baffling. The people at IMAX are pissed. So like that's what you do with our technology and stuff. Yeah, I honestly don't think I can do more than like there was I just had to watch all of it just because I'm like I don't know, I might have to write some about it. Probably not anymore. Be one of those like, remember when they did that? It's like, oh fuck, why did you remind me? Like that's what this show's gonna be. But it's just a fucking bummer because Inhumans is great. They're great characters from the comics, and they really did an injustice to them. People can complain all they want about stuff like, oh, I didn't like Justice League or this and that. None of it's as bad as Inhumans. It's the worst superhero-related thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Fantastic Four.
Yeah. It's worse.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, like Fantastic Four, at least it had the beginning of it. At least like could have been a decent movie.
Yeah.
It could have been like it wouldn't have been the classic characters, but it'd been a take. It'd be like an interesting version, reinterpretation. But no. All right, so let's talk real quick about the top 5 news stories of 2017.
Yeah.
These are news stories that were like big, like surprising news stories. Some that like, you know, just a lot to talk about regarding these news stories and stuff. And then just some that like, you know, just kind of cool or interesting that they're doing this,
like
this particular thing.
Bruce Willis being dead the whole time. And
yeah. But before I talk about those, I did want to say this doesn't really qualify for one of the biggest news stories of the year. And I'm not entirely sure that,
anyone cares.
No, I'm not entirely sure that this whole thing was announced this year, honestly. But there have been a couple of things that we haven't got to talk about lately that I just wanted to I'll throw it in here real quick. This is one of the things I'm most excited for 2018, TV-wise. I'm really looking forward to the Titans TV show. Have you seen those images? The one of Robin?
Yeah, that looks really good.
It looks fucking awesome. Like, it looks like, holy shit, that's a live-action Robin. And he's a little bit older than Robin, but I think this is a Robin that's been Robin for a while. And he's at the age now where he's going to be transitioning to Nightwing. And I think that's really cool. Also, the Hawk and Dove, like, those costumes look really good, too. Alan Richardson is Hawk, and was it Mika Kelly as Dove? Like, really?
Is Cyborg in this?
No.
No.
That's because they fucking put him in Justice League.
Yeah.
Cyborg has always just felt more like a Teen Titan to me.
Yeah.
I get that his abilities and stuff like that have uses for the Justice League and stuff, but I just always see him more as a Teen Titan. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about that real quick. Those images look fucking cool, and that's making me really excited for this show. All right. Number 5 story. This is kind of a tie, but it's like the two kind of similar stories, and it's, you know, actresses coming back for a franchise for one more go. And that's Linda Hamilton's coming back for Terminator, and Jamie Lee Curtis is coming back for Halloween.
Okay.
I'm excited for both of those. Mostly because of the people involved, and I don't think they're gonna let us down like a lot of like the films that are like remade versions of. Bringing Linda Hamilton back as Sarah Connor for the Terminator movie, like I'm excited for that. I love the first 2 Terminator movies, and it's just one of those franchises that have been going for years, but only really has 2 movies. No, but I do love that moment. I've been watching. It's one of those movies that. What
moment?
The moment you're talking about.
Thumbs up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I cried.
It's just like the in space. He's like, I cried like a baby at the end of Terminator 2.
The thumb?
Yeah.
And I did it like, even though it makes 0 sense for a robot to say I need a vacation, just makes me laugh. Because like even he realizes like, look, God, I'm tired.
Yeah. And Jamie Lee Curtis back for Halloween. I think Halloween, the first Halloween, is like my favorite horror movie of all time. It's just a classic, and like she's come back before. I think she's been in like 4 movies total. Like I think she was in the first 2, and then the last 2 of the movies before they started getting remade by Rob Zombie. And they're mostly not great, most of them, but this one, just that they hit the reset button. They're completely disregarding all of the other sequels. And I think the Terminator is doing the same thing. They're disregarding all the sequels and just starting fresh with a new jumping off point that only the first movie or 2 happened for Terminator. And I think only the first one happened for Halloween. But I watched both the first and second Halloween on Halloween, and I think they can include Halloween 2 in the canon as well, even though John Carpenter didn't direct it, but he was involved in the story and everything. The number 4 big news story: Quentin Tarantino. We haven't talked about this. Quentin Tarantino is developing a Star Trek movie.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I thought it was a show. No, movie?
No, a movie.
Oh. Using what characters?
I mean,
so like starting over again with.
No, I think he's developing like Star Trek 4, like After Beyond, like basically.
So with like Chris Pine and.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like, well, here's the thing. Like, he is a huge fan of the original series. And from what I hear, he has a story for a Star Trek movie that he's just like, I think he always thought it'd be a great movie or episode of the show or whatever. And I think it involves stuff from the original series and stuff. And I don't know, maybe some time travel-y stuff. I'm not sure. But I don't know how that stuff comes into play. But he pitched it to J.J. Abrams, who is still a producer on those movies, even though he's directing the Star Wars movies now. And J.J. Abrams he's involved in both. He's directed 2 Star Trek movies, and
he's about to do 2
Star to do his second
movies.
Star Wars movie. Which actually that is not on my list as far as Colin Trevorrow getting fired and J.J. Abrams coming back, but that is a huge. I honestly just jotted these stories down real quick because I just wanted to talk about some of them because we haven't got a chance to. But yeah, so he's developing, and what I'm hearing is that they've hired some writers to develop. Like, I think Paramount really liked the idea too, so he's basically, I think he's going to have like a story by credit, and he pitches it to these writers, and like I think they hired the writer on, and they're going to develop Quentin Tarantino's story idea, and he may or may not direct it, but I don't see him doing it, directing it. I'd like him to, because he's done a lot of different movies, like different genres of movies in his career, but he's never done like a straight sci-fi thing like Star Trek. So that'd be cool. But yeah, like I'm curious to see where that goes. I want that series to continue, and while I really like Star Trek Beyond, not everyone did.
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot, and some people didn't, and it did not make a whole lot of money compared to the other ones. No, it made less than the other 2 did. So maybe something as crazy as Quentin Tarantino doing one might give it the kick in the ass it needs.
See, I would leave those 3 alone and let it be like its own little thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd like to see it keep going. For
me, it's because what's his name, Anton.
Oh yeah,
because he passed away. So to me, I'm like, just leave it its own little.
But I mean, as much as I loved him in that movie and the character and stuff, I think you can continue doing Star Trek without Chekhov.
Yeah,
it's not the same as like Kirk or Spock or any of those guys. I think they could keep going without him, because like Chekhov wasn't even in the first season of the show. Like, I mean, he was in the first movies and stuff, but maybe he's not in the other ones. I don't know. It's a bummer. It's definitely a bummer.
See, I would take like how they reinvented the Kirk and Spock and all that stuff. I would do that with the Picard.
Next Generation.
Yeah,
I always thought about what if they did that.
Yeah, it'd be kind of fun. Do that.
Yeah. All right. Number 3 news story.
Get Bryan Cranston to play it.
You know what? We'll tie this in there because they both start. Yeah. So number 3 will be J.J. Abrams coming back to do episode 9 after Colin / Ron Howard stepping in on Solo. After Lord Miller got fired. I mean, these are crazy things, like, Star Wars, like Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy and all them. They're not fucking around with their Star Wars movies. Like, if you're not playing ball, you can fucking hit the bricks.
Yeah.
And they're proving that. But
I'll do it.
I know you are, but I don't think they want you to.
But I mean, I'll do whatever they want. Isn't that what they're looking for?
Yeah, but they also want somebody with the ability to do what they want.
I'll be a yes man. I'll be a company man. Just let me do it.
So yeah, that's just big news that like they fired these directors so late in the game too for Solo. They were close to wrapping production, and now so I don't know what the movie. I think the movie is going to turn out all right, like compared, but like I mean, I'm not really super looking forward to this movie anyway. I am looking forward to it. It's a Star Wars movie, but of all the Star Wars movies they've talked about, it's lower on my list. Number 2, Joss Whedon coming in on Justice League. I mean, because this is on the heels of, like, he was announced that he's developing a Batgirl movie. So right there was, like, the guy who was a huge part of the MCU, directing the 2 Avengers movies, is now making the move over to DC. And so him doing a Batgirl movie was big enough news on its own. But then when Zack Snyder had to step away for horrible, horrible reasons, losing his daughter, and like bringing Joss Whedon in on Justice League. Joss Whedon has been involved in the Avengers and Justice League at this point, which is just crazy to me. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you can look at the movie and say it was a mess, like that. It was the studio, and I wouldn't put a whole lot of that on Joss Whedon's shoulders, because he was in a really bad predicament as it was stepping into this. Like, you know, like
I want to know whose idea that Russian family was.
I don't know. It could have been either or, really. I mean, there's things that I was like, oh, that's totally a Zack Snyder thing, and then it was like, oh no, that's totally a Joss Whedon thing, and then someone goes, no, that was Zack Snyder.
Like what? Do you know?
Like,
remember?
I think the Aquaman sitting on the lasso. I think that seems like it would totally be a Joss Whedon thing, and it was a Zack Snyder thing, or in his version of the movie. And
that's a fun scene.
Other stuff like the, I don't know. Like,
I thought Batman was just a little bit too light. You know what I mean?
I think Batman can be a little lighter when he's working with the rest of the Justice League. Not necessarily super light, cracking jokes and stuff, but I don't feel like Batman was doing that in this movie.
The one little bit I'm talking about is like when he's they're in the Batcave and they're talking about, all right, here's what we're gonna do, and he kind of pulls Aquaman aside. He's like, do you talk to fish? To me, that felt just a little too jokey for Batman.
But he's not making a joke.
I know he's not making a joke, but it felt silly-ish.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
That's a good question. Does he talk to, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see something like that as a, see, when Batman's like cracking jokes and stuff, like, is the difference.
I think I realize what I'm meaning.
Stuff that's humorous but in character.
That felt like Ben Affleck, not Bruce Wayne, to me. Does that make sense?
I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, there's certain things like where he says something, he's like, yeah, it does feel like more of a Ben Affleck than Batman in those situations, just because we know Ben Affleck and everything after, because we know him personally. We hang out sometimes.
The part where Superman's holding Batman by the face and he's like, "Tell me, do you bleed?" I'm like, I was 100% on Superman's side. I was like, you have every right.
I loved that they called back that line.
Yeah, I was like, you have every right to be so pissed off at this dude.
Yeah, the only problem is that scene is one of the shining examples of the. I mean, that's the meme that's been going around. The shot of him, do you bleed in the face, and he looks like, who does he? He looks like somebody else, not Henry Cavill. He looks like a different actor, and he looks like a particular actor, and I can't put my finger on who he looks like. Anyway, the final one, and this is a news story that we've been going pretty long on this episode, but this is a news story that we're probably going to talk about for a minute. So let's try to.
I also don't. Real quick, I don't think I like seeing the Batman costume in daylight.
Yeah,
like when he's laying on the lawn.
Well, that's not as much of a movie thing. That's like a Justice League thing. Like when he's Batman, he goes at night, but when he's with the Justice League, sometimes he goes out during the day, and it's weird.
That's true, I guess. I'll give him that.
Yeah. All right. Finally, biggest news story there. Huge, fucking huge. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Disney buying Fox. 21st Century Fox. Yeah, like the mouse is fucking.
The mouse. Have you seen that the meme of like Mickey Mouse putting on the Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah.
And each one is the.
Yeah, it's like Pixar, Marvel, Fox. Yeah, like this is huge news. Now,
it's mine now.
Granted, it may not go through. The government has to approve this deal.
That's crazy.
Because, yeah, I mean, that's how big of a deal it is. But, and I know some comic book fans and stuff like us are really the only thing we're looking at is the fact that, you know,
X-Men and Fantastic
Four come back to Marvel.
Yeah.
And but the fact of the matter is a lot of people are going to lose their jobs when this happens and stuff like that. We don't know what it means for all these properties and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, I mean, Fox is the one that's decided to sell their company.
That's true.
It's on them. It's not on Disney for buying a profitable company that, you know, or I don't know how profitable. I mean, they're trying to sell it, but they're in debt. But all these studios are in debt. Like, that's how this stuff works.
New Girl. That's another show.
I like that show.
I got caught up on that. That one's really good. I think they got one season coming out.
Yeah, it hasn't started yet.
No?
It's supposed to start this year.
All right.
Didn't come back with the rest of them.
Yeah, that's on Fox. That's why.
Yeah. But they bought it. They bought it, so they're gonna own it all. Like they're gonna own The Simpsons. They're gonna own The X-Files, which comes back tonight. The new season starts tonight. Yeah, they're gonna own all this shit. And it's strange. I mean, I get why they're doing it because they're building that streaming service thing. Yeah. And now they have more than just Disney stuff to put on it, and that's a lot of stuff, and it fits to me. It's all stuff that, like, if it's a streaming service of just Disney and Fox related stuff, you get a lot of variety in there.
Yeah, yeah.
More so than just Netflix or just Disney.
Yeah.
And everything. But, you know, we'll see how that turns out. It may not go through. I'm hoping if for some reason, you know, the government blocks this deal from going through, Disney still buys the Fox, the Marvel properties from Fox.
Yeah, that'd just be nice.
I'd hope they'd at least, I hope that maybe they made that, it's like, look, this may not go through, but we at least for sure know we want those.
Yeah. Can you just buy the Fantastic Four and X-Men?
Yeah, if they're already selling shit off, like, just give them a good chunk of change for that shit and call it a day.
Who would you recast as Wolverine?
That's a different one. You know what I was thinking about the other day? How great would it be if you found like just an extra or something in Captain America: The First Avenger and go, that's Wolverine.
Yeah,
and
that was like in one of the early like ideas.
Huh?
Have you heard about that? It was like for when they were doing Captain America, like one of the early ideas was to have like a quick scene of Wolverine and Cap saving Magneto from one of the camps when he was a kid.
How would they have been able to do that? They didn't own the characters.
It was just an idea.
That was an episode of X-Men Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched that one the other night. So it made me think about, wouldn't it be great to see these two together?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with this deal, but hopefully at least the Marvel part of it goes through and works out, because I couldn't tell you how excited I would be to see the Fantastic Four come in and have a proper version of the Fantastic Four on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, the X-Men, with Logan, I know there's a couple more movies coming out, and I'm excited to see them, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are on my most anticipated list, but that, for the most part, that line of the X-Men stuff is done. And we can move past it now and just start fresh with the X-Men in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
And I would much rather see that than them try to bring this version, because there's so many things that, like, I have so many problems with the X-Men universe. I know there's movies that are great, but there's also movies that are horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And as a whole, the X-Men universe on film has never quite felt like it does in the comics or the animated stuff for me.
To me, it just feels a little messy.
Yeah. And I think they could, Marvel could do what they did with Spider-Man with X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So finally, let's talk about our most anticipated movies of 2018. I wrote a top 10, and then I wrote down a list of all the other movies that I'm really looking forward to. So first I'm going to go through like my, I guess, kind of honorable mentions. I don't know, other movies I'm looking forward to, and just say whether you're looking forward to it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Pacific Rim Uprising.
Looking forward to it.
Me too. Love the first one, so I'm curious to see what they do.
I hope
with the
they get a
second
lot
one.
more specific on this one.
Yeah, Pacific Rim. You probably haven't even heard of this one. Annihilation. It's from Alex Garland. He directed Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Was just a really good movie. It's got Natalie Portman and Oscar Isaac in it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. Wrinkle in Time.
Zach is in it, so I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's interesting.
That's the only reason.
Tomb Raider.
Nah. Right.
I want to see it because I like the new Tomb Raider games, and I want to see how they do. And if this is closer to those games, then I'm curious. But the trailers...
Well, Nick Frost is in it, right?
Yeah. The trailers haven't blown my mind or anything, but they look kind of like it could be cool. Yeah. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, I want to see it.
I mean, Jurassic Park's one of my top 5 movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Probably my favorite movie of all time.
Is it? Is that your number one?
Jurassic Park?
Like mine is Ghostbusters, yours is Jurassic Park?
Yeah, I think so.
Jurassic Park 3?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, sorry I didn't finish. Yeah, it was Jurassic Park 3 that I was talking about. But Jurassic World, I liked it a lot. I know it was some people didn't like it as much.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was everything I always wanted in a Jurassic Park sequel.
Mm-hmm.
The park is open to the public.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I needed. And with these Jurassic Park movies, I'm very easy to please. I just want to see fucking dinosaurs tear shit up.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's a volcano for some reason? Hell yeah, let's do it. The trailer didn't blow my mind, though, so that's why it's not on my top 10. Alita Battle Angel. Have you seen the trailer for this?
No. It's
Robert Rodriguez directing, James Cameron producing. It's based on an anime. It looks really interesting. I just saw the first trailer on. I went to the movie. I went and saw Star Wars again for the second time, and when I did, it was one of the trailers playing. But I saw it at Studio Movie Girl, and they were taking where they come to you. I don't know if you have one near you, if you're listening. This is one of the theaters where the waiters come to you and take your order and stuff. And we were at the bar part of it, in the chairs, and we had to turn around to talk to our server. So I was trying to watch the trailer, which I hadn't seen, and look back. But it looked interesting, and I don't know. I'm curious to see. I like Robert Rodriguez sometimes, depending on what he does. I'm not a big Spy Kids guy, but Teen Titans Go to the movies. They're doing like an animated Teen Titans Go movie, so I'm curious to see that on the big screen. The Predator.
I don't know.
I know you don't give a shit about fun things.
Yeah, that's it.
Because
Lego Batman wasn't fun at all.
Not in the way that Predator's fun.
And not in the way that...
Alien and Predator and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the...
Spider-Man Homecoming wasn't fun at all.
Yeah, no.
You want me to keep going?
You don't like fun things with balls. You don't like things... You get spooked easily.
I get spooked easily?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't like horror movies. You don't like monster movies. You don't like... No. All right.
Because I want to see everyone be all right.
Yeah.
It's because I'm the weirdo.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, because I want to see everything turn out all right.
Yeah. When it comes to movies, yeah, you literally are.
Yeah.
Because everyone else that goes to the movies
everyone else wants to see everything get all
entertained.
fucked up for everyone. That's what everyone wants to see.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's fun.
Isn't real life fucked up enough? Do we need...
Yeah, and that's why we need to see shit get ripped up.
I want to see Spider-Man put a stop to it.
But Shane Black is doing this one, so that's one of the main reasons that I'm excited for it, because I love Shane Black. The Meg is a giant shark movie.
Okay.
With Jason Statham as a scientist, because of course. Yeah.
He ain't no scientist.
I can't fucking wait. I love a shark movie and a giant shark movie. Let's do this. Fighting with My Family, I'm excited for. I'm interested in seeing that. It's I think Stephen Merchant is directing it. Or he's involved in producing it or something like that. It's based on Paige, the wrestler, the WWE superstar. They don't call them divas anymore because that's horribly misogynistic. They're divas. But anyway.
Isn't that what the name of the show is?
Yeah. Well, they were called divas for a while, and then they're like, no, they're women superstars. Like, they're not, like, divas is such a fucking degrading.
Have you seen the show? Some of them are acting like
kind
divas.
Of divas. Well, they're getting past that, thankfully. But yeah, Paige is, it's a movie about her and her life and stuff, and I think that'll make for a really interesting story and movie. Nick Frost is in that one, too. I think he plays her dad. So I'm like, fuck yeah. Halloween, the remake of the new reboot from Danny McBride and David Gordon Green. I'm excited for that. There's what is it? Fuck. I just have it written down here as Jungle Book, but there's a new Jungle Book movie that Andy Serkis directed, and it's got no, it's live action. It's motion capture.
Again?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they were doing this movie at the same time as Disney was doing theirs with Jon Favreau. And so they were...
It's the same story? Is there more story that I'm not aware of?
I guess they're focusing on different things, but...
Because if it was the exact same thing, I'd be like, woo.
Well, the Disney version is a remake of the Disney animated version. This is probably more closer to the original book that the Jungle Book was based on. And there's been more Jungle Book movies and stuff like that than just the Disney version, but the Disney version is the one everybody knows. I think this will probably be a little darker. A more mature version of the thing.
No Bill Murray?
No Bill Murray.
No.
But it's got great actors in it. I think...
like Bill Murray?
No. I think Christian Bale is in it.
Is he...
Andy Serkis is playing Baloo.
Oh, I was about to say, is Christian Bale playing Baloo, yelling at people off screen?
Oh, God, fuck yeah! All right. I think it's something... it's called Mowgli or something like that. Mm-hmm. I think it was called Jungle Book Origins.
Mowgli Begins.
They call it Mowgli Begins. X-Men Dark Phoenix. Looking forward to it. Always looking forward to a new X-Men movie. Depends on when it comes out, how good it is. But I'm always looking forward to seeing more.
We'll see.
Pictures for Dark Phoenix have me really excited. Have you seen those?
No.
They've released some images.
Well, I've seen like a cover image, I think.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Wreck-It Ralph 2.
I'm looking forward to
Ralph
that.
Breaks the Internet. Really looking forward to that
dude,
one.
I love me some Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah. Creed 2.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, that one's going to make me feel like even less of a man.
Yeah.
That first one, I was like, God damn it. I'm never gonna look like that.
So does Jungle Book, though. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Have you seen the trailer for that? The animated Miles Morales movie?
Yeah.
It looks interesting. I was like, okay, I'll see it. But then when I saw the trailer, I was like, whoa, this looks like
it looks really good.
Really cool animation style. I'm curious to see it. And Bohemian Rhapsody. It's the Queen biopic and everything. I'm curious to that. I'm a big Queen fan. Yeah.
I'll see if it's like. I won't go to the theater for it.
Yeah. All right. So those were all just the movies that are coming out that I wanted to touch on that I'm looking forward to seeing. Now, this is my top 10 of most anticipated of the year. Number 10, Solo, Star Wars story.
Okay.
It's a Star Wars movie. That was the main reason.
Let's see it.
But also Donald Glover as Lando. Fuck yes, I'm in. Woody Harrelson in a Star Wars movie. Hell yeah, I'm in. Emilia Clarke, also excellent. I want to see that. As far as an individual character getting a solo movie, I think Han Solo has a lot of unexplored territory and things in his past and mythos that we can explore in a movie. Like, you have the Wookiee life debt, you have the Kessel Run, you have him winning the Millennium Falcon in that fateful game of Sabacc. Like, there's a lot of things you can do in this movie, and hopefully we'll see them all. And they don't have to do another solo movie. A solo movie. My number 9, Venom. I'm starting to get interested in this movie.
I've been interested since day one.
Yeah, I know you are.
I'm really looking forward to it. It just has all the promises of a great, profitable movie that I hope just makes all the money at the box office and video, DVD rentals. Let's just. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be great. Looking forward to exploring all the characters, even ones that like maybe just pop up for like one scene, one quick line. I'm interested in that character.
All right,
seeing all the journey he goes on and expanding in the universe.
An idea of a Venom movie without Spider-Man
sounds great to me.
Here's the thing: I'm hoping we're wrong about that. I'm hoping Spider-Man is at least
I'm right
involved.
about it because it sounds like a fantastic idea that I'm 100% behind.
Idiot. I'm hoping we're wrong about the no Spider-Man. Like, here's the thing, like, Sony is allowed to include Tom Holland in their Spider-Man movies, but they're just not allowed to reference anything else from the MCU. But if they have Tom Holland Spider-Man swing by for like a scene or just have some kind of interaction or fight maybe, like, that's all you really need. And just establish that those two characters are in the same world. That's all I need from it.
They might. Maybe in credits.
Yeah, even if that, yeah. I mean, I'd prefer Venom to be tied to Venom's origin be tied to Spider-Man, but if not, whatever. At least you establish them in the same world. I'll be happy with that, too. My number 8, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yep, looking forward to that.
Definitely looking forward to that.
I just like Paul Rudd.
I do, too.
He's just fun to watch.
For me, honestly, the thing I'm more excited about in this movie is Wasp. Like, I am a big fan of the character Wasp from the comics and the, all the versions of that. I mean, that was always Janet Van Dyne. This is Hope, their daughter. But we're going to get to see not only Hope become Wasp, but we're also going to get to see the backstory of Janet as Wasp. And that's one of the things I like about Ant-Man is that they established a history to the character of Ant-Man where Hank Pym and Janet had adventures in the past and stuff, and we're going to get to see just a little bit more like we saw in the first movie. We're going to see a little bit more of their adventures in this one too.
And also with those costumes, it's easy just to say that's Hank Pym and not have to have Michael Douglas running around. Like, you just cover up the face and be like, yeah, that's him.
Yeah
kind of like a Robert Downey Jr.
So I'm excited to see that. I'm really excited to see Wasp finally full-on debut in the MCU because she's a founding fucking Avenger. Like, her and Ant-Man were like first team of Avengers, like first round draft picks to the Avengers. Number 7, I'm really looking forward to Aquaman.
I was about to say Aquaman.
Aquaman, hell yeah. I mean, he was one of the characters that I thought could have used a little more in Justice League. Me too. I think because they cut a lot of stuff out of Justice League because the studio mandated that it be 2 hours. That's one of the other reasons that Joss Whedon had to come in, is because they had to kind of film some stuff as like glue to piece together things that they had cut out. And I think a lot of Aquaman stuff got on the cutting room floor.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it is, because people were really looking forward to seeing that character in the movie, and then when you see it in the movie, you're like, oh yeah, all of his jokes, because that's pretty much all he really brought to the table of this movie, were in the trailers, all of his best moments. But Aquaman is a badass character, and I'm hoping we really get to see that in the movie. I'm excited. James Wan is a great director, and I'm curious to see what he brings to this. My number 6 is New Mutants. I'm really looking forward to this movie. I'm really curious to see, like, this is the one. This is another thing, are the one downsides of the Marvel Fox deal. I don't know what the future of New Mutants is, and I'm looking forward to it because it's really cool seeing like a horror take on this world, and like, you know, just like the MCU has been doing a great job of establishing different genres of movies in their superhero movies, because if they're all just the same thing, it's whatever, but they're establishing different genres and stuff. I want to see more things like that with other superhero movies. And X-Men is like, they've done so many movies that they can try something new and take a risk. And I'm really hoping that pays off, because it looks like a fantastic movie. And then my number 5 is Deadpool 2. Another thing I'm worried about, and thing that a lot of people are worried about with this Disney Fox deal.
Why?
Because Disney isn't really known for making the R-rated movies and stuff anymore, and people are afraid that means Deadpool's going to go away, because people think Disney doesn't know how to make money.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I don't think that they're not stupid.
Yeah, they know that Deadpool rated R is why it made so much money, because Deadpool is a character that needs to be rated R, and people showed up and paid for that movie because they were like, this is.
And I don't think parents are going to get confused and all of a sudden bring their kids to.
If it didn't happen the first time,
right?
Because the first time it could have the parents could have looked at it and go, "Oh, Deadpool, it's a superhero movie. I'll take my kids to see it," and then get a huge wake up call. So anybody who didn't know the first time around knows by now. And I think Disney is going to, with this Fox thing, I think Disney is going to establish, because also don't forget Logan. Logan was rated R too, and it was a big hit for them as well. So I think Disney is probably going to establish some kind of part, like some kind of, you know, umbrella, like, you know, it's something underneath the Disney umbrella, but a smaller thing going like, this is where we make these kind of movies now. Like, call it Marvel Knights or something, or like, you know, the more mature, like, Marvel Max, something like that.
Deadpool's kind of one of the characters that he can point out what's going, like, you know. I
mean, he already did. The day that the thing came through, he released that great tweet of the Matterhorn, like Deadpool getting kicked out of Disney World the first day. It's like, yeah, of course he has that ready. My number 4 movie, Incredibles 2.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. That's gonna be good.
You know what? Oh, I just thought of this. You know how long it's been?
A long time.
I don't know the year off the top of my head, but the first Incredibles movie, I think it was 2004 actually, but the first Incredibles movie came out on my birthday, on my 17th birthday, because I was like, I'm old enough to see an R-rated movie now, but I want to see that one. And like, I was really excited for that movie. So I loved the first Incredibles. Everyone loves Incredibles. And they finally done a sequel, and it just shows that like Pixar, when they do it, I mean, sometimes they do Cars and just shit them out. Assembly line, shit out Cars movies. But in other cases, it makes me happy that they didn't rush in to make a sequel right away because people love the first one. They are making a sequel now because they think it's the right time to do it. They have a story and all that stuff. And so so if I was 17 when that one came out, I'm 30 now, so that's been 13 years, almost 14 years. But we're finally getting it this year, and I'm really excited for Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
My number 3, Black Panther. Cannot fucking wait.
That movie looks really good.
It looks good. The trailers have been incredible. Some of the best trailers of the year have been Black Panther trailers. That world, I'm really excited to, because that's one of the things you get with Black Panther you don't get with all the other characters. Spider-Man, you get New York. Yeah. Like Iron Man, you get New York. All these characters, you get to see more of New York. But this is like
a little bit over New York.
A completely different world, like a completely different location that's been there the whole time. Iron Man 2, there was a blip on the map that said Wakanda, and like now we're going there,
right?
And it's fucking exciting. And not only that, but I think this is going to be an important movie the way that Wonder Woman was an important movie for women. This is for Andy Serkis. for
straight white men.
Yeah.
Finally, it's our time.
Yeah, no, like the African American community is gonna be really excited about this movie. Like, there was some video of these people like looking at like just shooting a video in front of the poster of this movie. It's like, this is what white people feel like all the time. Like,
Yeah.
Makes you feel like a piece of shit, doesn't it?
It really does.
But yeah, I'm so fucking excited for this movie, and it's a important movie, and I think it's gonna be fucking awesome.
I like
Ryan
the costume
Coogler's a
a lot.
really
Do you think
good
he's
director.
gonna wear a cape at all at any time?
Oh, I don't know. I never think of Black Panther as someone with a cape, but I know that he's had cape at
I wouldn't
times.
want to see him wear it all the time, but like
On the throne.
yeah, like if he
something
wore
like
it
that.
once, they'd be like, "Oh, he's got the cape."
Yeah.
Like I just want to see it like once.
Yeah, I never
you know
think
what I mean?
Never once thought about it. Black Panther.
It's like when Spider-Man has the webs under his arms.
Yeah.
It's like a thing. I'm like, oh, I just want to see it like for.
Well, the way they did in that movie,
Yeah,
when we saw it in the trailer, it's like, oh, does he always have that? But in the movie, he just has it in that moment. It's like, oh, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
In that one moment. And this was like, oh, it'd be great for him to have the costume and stuff on the throne and the cape on the
it's
throne.
like a ceremonial
then
type.
he steps up, have to slap a bitch down, and just fucking like have to kick the shit out
Take
of
off his cape.
Yeah, he's got to take off his cape and
Take off my cape.
and bitch slap Killmonger.
Is that?
That's gonna be the villain in this movie. It's
Okay.
Killmonger.
All right. And like from my understanding, I don't want to watch too much of the trailers.
Yeah,
So like is he like I should be the
I think so.
yeah.
I think I like I said, I don't want to watch too much or read too much
Right.
into anything. Like
It
just,
seems
just
kinda
go
like
in
how
and
Thor
let them
was
tell their
like-
damn story.
It seems kind of like Thor, how like Loki was like I should be the
Yeah,
what do you call it?
Probably.
So
And you know what? Even if there are similarities, who gives a shit? If it works, it works.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I like similarities,
Okay, this movie
especially the other things I like.
This movie, I am looking forward to it so much. It almost was my number one. But there's another movie that has a little bit more build up to it and stuff like that. The Ready Player One. I cannot wait for this movie. I can't overestimate how excited I am for this
When
movie.
does that one come out?
March, I think. No, February 30th.
Fuck. Okay, I gotta reread that book real quick.
2 months. Yeah, like I'm gonna listen to the audiobook again. Like I really fucking love the book, and like the movie looks like they're just fucking killing it. Like it's everything I ever wanted. And a movie pretty much like it's all these things, the Iron Giant, the DeLorean, the like all these great video game characters and movie characters and all this stuff. And like I don't know if there's any way that the movie can do like a tenth of the pop culture references that the book has, but I want to see them try. And like honestly, getting someone like Steven Spielberg to make this movie is huge.
In a book, can you just talk about whatever?
Yeah, you can just reference stuff. That's the difference between a book and a movie,
Right?
is when if you show something,
Like if
you
I was
have
to
to
write
pay
a book,
for it.
if I was to write a book and character A just talks about like, oh, I love Back to the Future and the DeLorean, and like he sees a DeLorean, like you don't have to.
I don't think
Right?
you have to do for the DeLorean anyway. It's just a car.
No, but I mean, okay, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
He's just talking about that, and he sees an Ecto one.
Well, like in this one, like you know, like there's like a Gundam in there, like something like that, like a specific Gundam from a series, and like a giant robot thing from a particular series. Yeah, stuff like that. You'd have to pay for.
I want to try to guess what your number one movie is. Paddington 2.
No, you know what it is. Look at your
I
list.
couldn't think of another silly movie other than Paddington
right.
2.
We'll say it at the same time. 3,
Baywatch.
2, 1, Bumblebee. I am looking forward to the Bumblebee solo movie more than any other movie.
Is
And,
Bumblebee really coming out?
Yeah, it's like next December. It's like going up against Aquaman, and I hope Aquaman beats the shit out of Bumblebee.
Aquaman is gonna stab Bumblebee through the neck with a trident,
Yeah,
and then use.
I don't care how yoked John Cena is.
Is John Cena the Bumblebee?
No, he's in it though. He's gonna be in it.
Is he
But
fighting Bumblebee?
I hope. I
Is
can
he a
only hope.
transformer? He transforms into Mark Wahlberg.
That'd be amazing. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Avengers: Infinity War. Of course, that's our number one.
Small indie movie.
This is a movie that they've been building to for 10 years.
It's a small little indie flick.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, it's a little movie that could. But we're finally getting the build up that they've been doing for 10 years. almost 20 movies at this point.
They're like,
It's
y'all
all been
remember
leading to this.
everybody? 'Cause
Yeah.
everybody's in it.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that's true. I want to see. I know that all the superheroes and stuff that they've established. I want to be surprised in this movie. I want to see characters that you like. That's the thing. Like when you cover all this movie news and stuff like that, for the Marvel movies at least, I feel like some of the time it's a bummer to me that I'm rarely surprised by something, and like that's why like stuff like when I see like a movie like Star Wars, like Last Jedi, I was legitimately surprised by things in that movie. Or even Justice League had some things that really surprised me I didn't know about. And I was like, yes, that's
like
awesome.
grave digging?
Yeah, that was the most exciting
thing. I was very surprised.
Yeah.
Like
Justice League, as much as we want to complain about it, Justice League surprised me and stuff. Not many of the Marvel movies really surprised me. Like all that much in the past several years. Like nothing's like really like, oh, I didn't know he was gonna be in this, or oh, I didn't know that. Like I want this movie to do that, and it's kind of hard for them to do that sometimes when their movies are under such a microscope all the time. But I want that. I want that more. That like the Marvel movies haven't been able to do that. They're always good movies, but they don't like surprise me like that. All right. So that's the movies we're looking forward to. You know, let us know.
Like it can only be like all of them talking to each other.
Yeah.
I can't imagine them wasting any time with like talking to someone else that's not already been introduced. Like you don't have time for it with all those characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I guess the thing that I want to see is I want to see Thanos. He's like, well, he's got a whole army in front of him of not only all the Avengers and all the superheroes, but also like all the like Wakanda, like all the entire army of the. I don't like. Is it just gonna be Thanos and his 4 buddies?
Maybe.
Or is he gonna be bringing in like some aliens, like the Chitauri?
Probably.
Like another race, or this or that.
There is an alien thing.
Here's what they should do. He should use the Infinity Gauntlet to bring back all of the major villains that we've seen before. He brought back Red Skull, Abomination,
Marzipan,
Coach Z, like Caecilius or whatever from Doctor Strange, like all the big like Whiplash or not, maybe even if not Whiplash, like Ironmonger or stuff like that. Just like all these characters we've seen in the movies before, and the villains like Yellow Jacket. Who else?
Quicksilver.
I would like to see Quicksilver in there again. That would be kind of cool.
They need all the help they can get.
Well, what if you brought Quicksilver back as a villain, and Wanda had to fight him?
It'd be fucked up.
But not only all them, but also bring back, like an army of Chitauri and Ultron robots.
That's a lot.
That would be the craziest fucking. That's how you tie off, like, you know, like wrap it all up in a bow. This thing you've been building for 10 years. That's how I would
like
do
about
that.
that trailer.
Give everyone somebody to fight.
You know what I really like about that trailer?
Yeah.
You legitimately don't know whether or not Ant-Man is in that.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that. Yeah, he might be in there somewhere.
Like I would love like you just said a second, like Thanos like holds up his gauntlet, like, you know, like making a fist, and then you zoom in and Ant-Man's standing on it, he's like, "Hey asshole!"
Ant-Man like pops off one of the gyms. Like you see the thing and you just see the gym go flying and Ant-Man just pops up underneath it. It's like, yeah.
Who's a bitch now? Somebody's gonna die.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And I can't wait.
Because you're fucked up.
Yeah. Blood. Yeah, kill him. All right.
Kill him.
All right. If you like this episode, please do us a favor and subscribe to The Amazing Nerdiverse on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher app. And leave us a review. That's the most important thing you can do to help us out and help people find this show. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. Share this show online with your friends on social media. On Facebook, we're at facebook.com/theamazingnerdiverse. We're on Instagram at Amazing Nerdiverse. We're on Twitter. I'm at Jeff_Grants.
I'm at Steven Tuckert.
And we are at Nerdiverse Pod. And go to theamazingnerdiverse.com for all that and very little more. Until next time, I'm Jeff Grants.
I'm Steven Tuckert.
Catch you right here next time in The Amazing Nerdiverse.
Hit him.
All right, we done with this bullshit?
Yeah,